It's all about SS Rajamouli. Now, by the time you watch this, it will be clipped as well, but we're talking about this live, and it is his birthday as we speak. But when this is clipped and goes out tomorrow, don't come on and say, it was yesterday, guys. Okay, so it was his birthday. Is his birthday? It was his birthday. Okay. And happy birthday.
Say it's your birthday.
John, this guy's 49. He's only
fucking crazy.
3 years older than me.
Yes.
I thought he was actually older than that.
He does look older.
Yeah.
With the hair.
I think just because of his experience in film, I just thought
it's the grey hair, Stephen. He's got an abundance of grey hair. He's going the full Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi, yeah. See, when you look at the top of his head, that's Taika.
Yeah, it's Taika, yeah.
Yeah, but
it's mad.
This is coming in from the Indian Express, John. It just gives us another excuse to talk about one of our favourite directors and filmmakers. SS Rajamouli is fast becoming the most celebrated Indian filmmaker globally. It's hard to recall when was the last time Indian filmmakers struck such a chord with mainstream audiences worldwide. Now, our RRR filmmaker SS Rajamouli turns 49 today. Yesterday, if you're watching the clip. But who is SS Rajamouli? Do I really want to read this out? Come on, guys. The director who has been breaking cliches and geographical confines one film at a time. South Indian states outside, and then United Andhra Pradesh discovered him with Simhadri. The whole country found him with Baahubali.
The then United Andhra Pradesh, really?
Yeah, and the rest of the world has learnt his name after RRR. No, they didn't. We didn't. We knew about him before RRR, so there you go. The growth trajectory of Rajamouli to become a global success with stories that are inherently rooted is something never seen before. A Hollywood film by Rajamouli is, in his over-the-top trademark style, is now a possibility. I couldn't care less if he does it or not, because I don't think he has to. He has been signed by the American talent agency Creative Arts Agency, CAA, which manages the likes of Tom Hanks.
I think that's as good as a confirmation
of it's
going to happen.
Steven Spielberg, Zendaya, Ava DuVernay and Ryan Murphy, to name a few.
Ava DuVernay, that's a strange name to fling in there.
With the
Ryan Murphy, who the fuck is Ryan Murphy?
With the backing of CA, the best resources that Hollywood has to offer has become more
who the hell
accessible
is that?
for the filmmaker. Rajamouli also already enjoys a huge popularity in Japan thanks to Baahubali: The Conclusion.
Yeah,
that's a strange one, isn't it? Not that it isn't a good film, of course, but why not the beginning as well? The beginning was just as good as the conclusion in my book.
I think when we were reacting to RRR, there was maybe a Korean or something was in watching and says they were a huge fan.
Yeah. It makes sense.
Rajamouli.
But I think his films transcend continents anyway, you know.
A good film's a good film.
He's a good storyteller, and you know that's something that does transcend cultures and society anyway. You know, I think someone that talent, it doesn't surprise me that he's not been signed up, that he has been signed up, you know, amongst these other stars, but it remains to be seen what he does, if he wants to do it or not. It looks like it will.
Prince of Persia movie is making good.
Yeah,
please.
Yeah, but John, it's his birthday. I suppose we can only talk about our experiences in Baahubali, the beginning and the conclusion, and obviously RRR at this stage. Obviously we want to go down a rabbit hole at some point and see. Well, we did watch the trailer for
Begins with an E.
Well, it was mad. It was just a mad trailer. It was one of the funniest trailers I've seen.
The Fly.
Yeah, the Fly film. I can't remember what it's called. But
begins with an E, a double E, I'm going to say.
I can't remember, John, but this was an earlier film, of course. We were recommended, and I think Eager, yeah, 2012, 10 years ago.
It's crazy, isn't it? But tell you what, the effects have aged well.
They have.
It's 10 years old.
But it shows the sort of it shows the sort of the varying talents of the man, that he can take a concept like that.
He's pushing boundaries all the time, this guy.
You know, anyone else that would have done that would have failed. I feel, you know, just taking that sort of concept. Baahubali speaks for itself, John. One of probably the greatest two-part films. I hate saying two films. It's a two-part film.
For me, it's a single story.
Yeah, it's a single story.
Split in two.
And it was phenomenal. And I loved watching that, and I loved talking about it with yourself. I loved reviewing the films as well. The film, I'll catch myself out. The film itself, an absolute epic. And then obviously when RRR was obviously rumoured to be in the making as well, it just excited me more to see that this was going to be the next project. And very much like our other favourite Indian star, Telepathy VJ,
Joseph.
It's always
Joe VJ.
It's always great, you know, when there's something in the works with these guys. whether it be an actor or a director. And it's the same with SS Rajamouli. I can't wait to see what he's going to do next.
Stephen, what he does next will be epic. It'll be massive in scale.
Yeah.
With 240 frames slow-mo,
Yeah,
FPS, slow-mo shots, stunning, pioneering technology, pushing the boundary. That's what this guy does in every single movie. We've seen it with Iya 10 years ago. I've not seen the movie, but we've seen the trailer. The concepts obviously come off the screen in a 2-minute trailer. Taking a fly and making him the star of a fucking movie. The wizardry technically it would require to do that, and to have it not age horrifically in the ensuing 10 years, that's an art to itself.
It's not very often after we've done a trailer reaction and the cameras are off, we talk about it that much. We'll go, yeah, it was good. But for some reason there was something about that, and I think we both said, I'm glad we reacted to that. That was a rush.
It started quite slow burn, and then it ended in just fucking hilarity.
Tears of
euphoria.
laughter,
Yeah. It was really good. Stephen, that sums him up for me. Euphoria and hilarity. There is hilarity in a lot of these movies. There is euphoria. There is just stunning shots.
Yeah.
And just he consistently gets performances out of his leading men, women, whatever you want to call them. Obviously, Ali Abbat was in Triple R, but she wasn't really leading.
No.
That was the one downside to that movie for me, if I was nitpicking. Didn't do enough with her. And she didn't do enough with what she had, to be fair. Either. I think she had about 5 minutes screen time. We've seen great actors do more with less.
Oh, you're veteran. It was in the film, the flashback, the father. I'm blanking on his.
Stephen, I'm thinking of Hugh Jackman's cameo. It's like 20 seconds.
Yeah, but you know how the father in Triple R, in the flashback.
Ajay Devgan.
Ajay Devgan.
Right, okay, it's less time.
He just made his mark, and he owned every second of that time he was on screen.
But the performances he gets, Stephen, are there.
Yeah.
We've seen it before, or 3 movies now. Rana Dagibati, Prabhas, and Baahubali. The sort of whole omnibus at the beginning and the conclusion.
Yeah.
Incredible. Prabhas was another level, Steve.
But it was funny because we watched that first, the beginning, and I felt it was a very slow beginning. I felt that we were still trying to come to terms with condition ourselves with Indian filmmaking at that point, and at times it was a bit, what's this all about? What is he doing? Can he do that? And what we didn't get very early on was, of course, that this is a larger than life story, and this is something SS Rajamouli is probably best at doing. We've seen bits in Triple R, bits that we probably thought were maybe a bit supernatural. People have corrected us on the motorbikes, obviously weight and stuff like that.
Yeah,
which is fine. That's an education in itself. But just buying into that sort of world and buying into that sort of the physics of an SS Rajamouli film as well. Once you accept that, you just fucking love what's happening in front of your eyes, and we certainly did with Triple R.
Stephen, I remember the moment I accepted it. It was when, obviously, it wasn't Mahendra, it was the other one, it was the father, and he lifts the sort of ceremonial stone, and it's a song and dance number. I'm like, that's fair enough, this is the movie we're getting then. It's like a sort of super heroic, and I don't know what you'd call it, it's also not a superhero movie. There's a name for it. Fantasy super heroic sort of fantasy movie. And once you get into that sort of mindset, it just washes over you.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, Stephen. I think that's the disconnect sometimes that Western audience members have with some of the, maybe Rajamouli's works. I was going to mention Campea, who obviously famously left the movie after about 5 minutes.
Yeah, deleted
and I'm going to mention him because it was the credits at the start, which is a fucking nonsense. A nonsense. 50 years ago in Hollywood, every single fucking movie had credits at the start. Some of the greatest movies ever made have got credits at the start. The movie doesn't start for 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's bullshit. But it was obviously the stuff with Ram Charan's character. I'm trying to remember, is it Bhima Ramaraju? I think it's Ramaraju. Ram Charan Ramaraju. That should be pretty easy. Also, when he's picking out the guy, he's tasked by the British police, I want to call them, because they're not technically the army, to go and get this guy who breaks the photograph of the king.
Yeah.
He's switched off. There's a mindset where they're like, oh, this is silly, this is over the top, but they'll watch Avengers movies, they'll watch DC movies where you've got guys flying through the sky rebuilding the Great Wall of China with fucking laser eyes. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
So there's a sort of snobbery there's a sort of superiority complex, and then there's just a
Yeah.
failure to even try and accept it. With us liking foreign content, we've watched a load of foreign films, TV shows. Not as big an issue for us. We're
No.
more likely to sit in and try and just become one with it and
Yeah.
enjoy the story that the director's given you. Once you allow that to happen, you become one with the story. The talent the man's got, his ability to create and weave brilliant characters through interesting stories is there for all to see. It's undeniable.
Yeah.
Baahubali is a fucking epic.
That is, yeah.
It's like a
Yeah.
Charlton Heston, fucking biblical epic from the 1950s, but modern day. It's just this concept of, I'm just getting knocked out my stride with my dog farting.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep my eyes open here.
His stomach has not been good today.
No.
It's
What's he been
not
eating
been good.
today?
I don't know what he's been eating, Stephen, but I've seen the aftermath of it, that's for
Wow.
sure. It's this concept that's getting levels to it. Wow. Concept of deceitfulness, backstabbing.
The air in this room has got levels to
Yeah,
it.
has got levels to it. Yes. The whole universe is in a hot, dense state.
That was a big bang.
Oh my god.
Mm.
This dog, man. Oh my god. He produces smells that no living thing. He smells like what Ulysses Bloodstone in that fucking coffin, the animatronic, should have smelt like. My
Rotten.
god.
Yeah.
Fucking horrific. But anyway, that aside, that tangent aside, thank you very much for that, Harley. The story's undeniable. It's an absolute fucking epic. It's like Judah Ben-Hur, man. It goes on and it's just riveting. It
Yeah.
does start a little bit slow, but it builds up a pace very quickly. Once he's up in this sort of plateau, you get the whole backstory, and then it goes to the setting movie, and he's tasked with saving, I think it's his mother or some relation, and obviously killing Balala Deva. Absolutely fucking epic, Stephen. That one of the end sequences still sticks in my mind. You've got Katapa, the sort of bald-headed chain-mail wonder,
Bearded man, yeah.
throwing the sword and shouting Mahendra, and he catches it. He's sort of gliding through this fucking air,
Yeah.
about to strike Balala Deva down and pale him in this pit. And he's got all the ancestors behind him in the clouds. It's like a storm.
I think that's why.
Incredible technical stuff. The score's building,
Yeah.
and it's just a fucking climax to this story. It's
I
been
think
going on
that's
for
why
3
Prince
years.
of Persia would be right down his street.
Yeah, it would.
You
It
know,
would.
something as mythical as that. You know, something that's been done before and wasn't done very
He would
well
nail
by
it.
Hollywood. He would absolutely nail it.
But I
because
don't want him,
that's-
Stephen, coming in and doing a Prince of Persia movie for Hollywood
No,
and casting all Western actors.
no.
He has got an
Yeah.
incredible knowledge of the acting talent on the subcontinent. I want him to take a sort of Hollywood budget, but gave the movie to do by a film studio within Hollywood, but gave complete freedom
Yeah.
who he casts.
Yeah.
He can cast Western actors if he wants, but go and get
Yeah.
some brilliant, like your Ramcharan, your NTR
Yeah,
Juniors.
don't do a grey man.
No.
And bring Danush in as a henchman.
No.
Which I always feared that it was going to be the case. But you're absolutely right, John. I think getting down the road of maybe accepting the American buck is fair enough. If you want your sort of vision to see the light of day, that's fair enough. But
Well, I mean, Triple R was $70 million, Stephen. The budget was $70 million. That's nothing for Western movies. That's a fucking Blumhouse. That's not much more than a
John,
Blumhouse horror.
that's because of the talent that's in India for the
Yeah.
CG.
But they're still
visual
Stephen, a
effects,
lot of the
cinematography.
Indian sort of
the lighting,
CG houses are coming over and doing work for Marvel.
Yeah, well they have to because
Some of the
they're
best
doing it
are
right. You know, they're
Yeah.
doing it in the most believable way possible, and you've seen that in Triple R, John. I still can't get over that sequence with the animals. It was one of the most
It was a tiger.
amazing sequences I've seen in any action film to date. That was believable, but at the same time unbelievable in terms of my mind accepting what my eyes were actually believing. And I think that's why we did laugh at some sequences in that, because it was just taking us aback.
I was
Like,
laughing,
never
Stephen, and I'll
seen
admit it
anything
right
like
now. I was laughing because it was fuck. I did not expect all those animals to come out. It was heavily fleshed out that this was a man of this sort of village. He was at one with the earth, at one with that region, at
It
one
was-
with the
it was
animals.
like
He was able.
Tarzan, wasn't it?
He was
Yeah.
able to sort of, I don't know, not train, but certainly capture animals. We see that with the tiger.
Mhm.
So it wasn't so far-fetched when he does release all those animals out. But I wasn't expecting it in that moment. I was just expecting a sort of one-man takedown of all these guys. So when he appears with these trucks full of the animals. I was laughing at the animals coming out because I
think
didn't
it's the
expect
fact
it,
that
and
he
then just the
didn't
violence.
He
I'm a
didn't
sick
have any
bastard.
control over the animals, John. That was
They
what
were
made
attacking
it,
him, yeah.
That was what made it funny. It was just chaos. It was just
But then I'm borderline psychopathic as well. I'm quite sick. I've got a dark sense of humour, and seeing people suffering, no less sort of British Empire suffering. I loved that. I absolutely loved the fact that they were getting ragdolled with all manner of different animals. It fucking conjured up Jumanji. Jumanji with Alan Parrish. But Steve, I'm looking at this guy's career. You're talking about a retrospective look. We've not seen the vast majority of this man's works. We don't proclaim to have. As a writer, he's been prolific. As a director, he's been slightly less prolific. But it goes back to 2001.
yeah. It's not.
He's
many
not
films.
made a huge amount of movies, and that's usually a good sign of a good director.
Yeah, not just
Where he won't
take
just
anything,
throw
yeah.
out anything.
Yep.
He's taking his time. He's methodically going through each project, making sure it's blood, sweat and tears. It's a passion. What?
MB29. I wonder what that is.
It's MB, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
his
sure.
Pre-production.
It's in pre-production, yeah. But they tend to do that, don't they? They tend to number it with the actual director. But
Yeah.
Stephen, you look 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, I don't have to count. It tells you at the top 13 movies in 20 years, 21
And
years.
perhaps maybe those early ones are like student film. Well,
Yeah.
student number one. I would say that's probably just maybe some shorts or something.
It
perhaps.
could be, yeah.
But
So that's a good
12 or
sign.
10 minutes. That is a short for an
It's
indie
short for
film.
an indie movie, yeah. It is. But that's a good sign
Yeah.
that he's not just churning out movies for the sake of it. This guy works studiously on his movies, and we've seen this before with Nolan, Tarantino, Western sort of figures.
He's
who
an
take
event
their time.
director, yeah.
And
Yeah.
Stanley Kubrick
Yeah.
was the one that only did about fucking 8 movies or
It's
something,
mental,
11
isn't it?
movies
Yeah.
throughout his entire career. That's usually what the best directors do. But Stephen, getting back to it, man, you take it from that, it's like a 2-hour movie 20 years ago to where he is now. He really is breaking down barriers worldwide. He's getting signed up with talent agencies over here, not maybe talent agencies, just agencies in general. Give this guy a $200 million budget and he will work fucking magic.
I think since he did Baahubali as well, John, and I understand why that was broken into 2 parts.
Yeah, it was long.
It was an epic story. But then so was Triple R. It was an epic story, but I think maybe, you know, he's kind of buffed the sort of rough edges of his own sort of style and his career, and he's able to streamline that kind of epic story into a 3-hour movie,
Yeah.
one movie that is, and it doesn't look jarring. The pacing's not off, the tone of it's consistent from start to finish, and that comes with experience, you know. And I think he's mastered that.
Yeah, he has, Stephen. He's just pushing the envelope when it comes to technical stuff, and also stories, getting performances, blending the music brilliantly as well. One of the best things about Triple R was the soundtrack, and obviously the dance sequences with Ram Charan and NTR. I would love to see him just blurring the lines between Western stuff and Indian stuff. If we can get some sort of Hollywood studio, I don't know who would green light it, but a Prince of Persia movie with elements of Indian sort of filmmaking style and Western filmmaking style. Give this guy $150 million to make it.
Be epic.
I'm telling you, it will be fucking epic.
Yep.
It will be epic because he's an incredible director. For me, there's some brilliant directors we've seen over in India. Lokesh Kanagaraj is one that stands out as well. But for me, SS is the best director in India just now. And every movie he's released that we've seen anyway has been fucking epic. Even the one we've not seen, we've seen the trailer, it looks epic and eager.
Yeah.
I wish the guy nothing but the best. I wish him a happy birthday once again, because it is his birthday.
Yeah.
49. To be fair, I says he looks slightly older than you. That's because he is slightly older than you, Steve.
Yeah.
He doesn't look 49.
No,
if he dyed the hair, he would look younger.
Probably, yeah.
The grey hair ages you, sadly. I wish the guy nothing but the best. I hope he continues to push the envelope. I hope he continues to be a pioneer when it comes to technology. And just getting performances, man, delivering these fucking epics. We need epics like this. The world's a dark, shite place. You've got little bald men from Eastern Europe creating misery, and probably other snaky, clandestine individuals from Western spheres creating misery. And when there's misery, and it's been ever present in society for millennia, you need a fucking bit of escapism.
An outlet.
An outlet. That's why the Greeks and the Romans had their colosseums and their little amphitheatres. We need it with cinema, and we need great directors like this giving us the escapism. So long may it continue, SS, my man. I want to see more for you. I want to see you coming over and doing it in the West as well. But don't don't forget about India. Can we use the Indian actors as well, because they're fucking great. I want a balance of the two, because I'm a balance of the two. Anyway, man, I'm gibbering. That's the drink, and it's tiredness. Are we done, Stephen?
We're done, yeah.